Good morning, gentlemen. We're on the 92nd segment of the Think Before You Speak series. Laws of Shemirat Halashon, with clarity and a few stories. Leilu Nishmat, the great Chafetz Chaim Zechet Tzadik Lebracha. Leilu Nishmat, the great Reb Chaim Kanievsky Zechet Tzadik Lebracha. Leilu Nishmat, Yididi, Ahuvi, Reb Zachariah Wallerstein Zechet Tzadik Lebracha. And as well, Leilu Nishmat, Luza Aliza Bat Henriette, and our children that passed with her in the fire, Ruach Hashem Tenichena Megan Eden. These halachot should be a great zechut for our Bnei Chabura that sit and learn every morning from 9 to 11:30. Hashem should bless them with beracha v'atzlacha, shefa, bane, chaim, zon, reviche. These halachot are specifically dedicated for the hatzlacha gdola, shmira ma'alya, siyata d'shmaya, chaim davido ben chayesar. Today's halachot titled The Lawnmower. Now, I took that title because you might be able to hear outside the lawnmower going. So if it would bother you, you'd understand that we really brought it in as a prop just for this morning's halacha. So it goes like this, where, you're out mowing your lawn and suddenly your lawnmower breaks. Should never know. And you got your lawn halfway cut. And you're thinking to yourself, who on the block has a lawnmower that I can borrow? And you remember that your neighbor next door, you saw him the other day making his way through his lawn with a nice looking lawnmower. So you go knocking on his door. For the first few minutes, a little small talk, neighbor chat, and then right after that, you come up with the real question that you knocked for. Hey, can I borrow your lawnmower? My lawnmower just broke. And your friend, the neighbor, says to you, listen, I'd love to lend it to you. But the truth is, I bought a high-end lawnmower that happens to be a little bit delicate on the blades, that if you don't really know how to use it well, it's very easy to snap the blades. Matter of fact, I just had it fixed recently with a new set of blades, and I'm just not comfortable lending it out. Now at that minute, you look at the guy, your neighbor, and you think to yourself, and you're about to blurt out, really? I could have sworn you just lent it a few days ago to our other neighbor down the block. What do you mean? But you didn't say that because you know that that would not be really taken well, and you're basically putting the guy on the spot and putting his back up against the wall. And at the same time, you're wondering, am I allowed to say that in the first place? Can I actually turn and tell him, hey, what do you mean? Why don't you want to lend it to me? You already lent it to another neighbor on the block only a few days ago. Well, the answer is it's good you didn't say that, because that is another example of the avera of avak rechilut. It's not outright rechilut. If you would have said to him, hey, you lent it to the other guy, why not me? At that moment, you're not actually saying anything openly and direct that would get him to be upset or have bad feelings against another Jew. But by saying that, it's avak rechilut, because you're basically telling him that when he lent it to the other guy somehow or other allowed other people to know. And he might get upset. He might get upset at the other guy. Hey, if I do you a favor, you don't have to tell people, because now I'm going to be open to having to do that favor to everyone else. So this is avak rechilut. Not to mention favors that were done by a person to somebody else, in spite of the fact that it's not being done to you. Lest the person might get upset at the person he did the favor for. Why are you telling people I did you favors? Now I got to do it to everybody. That is avak rechilut. At the end of the day, let's appreciate the fact that a favor was meant to be just a favor. And if someone can't do it for you, there's always somebody else that can. But in the interim, the shalom, or the ben adam lechavero, is always what prevails. Thank you for listening.